Alright, this is the long-awaited hip flexor tip of the day. So, what I'm going to do, we're going to go through what it is, we're going to go through who suffers from it, and then also, how do we stretch it so they're not so dang tight, right? So, without further ado, the hip flexor tip of the day. Alright, so we're going to use this Visible Body app to give us a good 3D look at what the muscle looks like, where it is, and how it connects within the body here. So, when we look at the hip flexor here, it is this giant highlighted muscle right here. What a lot of people don't realize is how deep it is within the back here. It actually connects to these lumbar vertebrae, or our lower back muscles. And then the other place it attaches is right in the front of the hip. Now, there's two ways that this muscle can shorten. Either we bring our knee to our chest, or it pulls on the lumbar spine here and actually causes what they call sway back, or an increased lordotic curve. You can see how it kind of naturally curves that way, but if this muscle gets really tight, it can curve even more. And the problem with this is that it will pull forward on that spine, and it can actually cause jamming of the joints back here and a lot of lumbar lower back tightness. So people that are going to suffer from this are going to be people that sit all day at work, that just sit a lot, because when they sit, they're in a knee to chest position. The knee is closer to the chest. The other people that are going to suffer from this are going to be gymnasts and dancers, and that's because of how they finish their routine. They finish in a very arched position, a very upright position. So they're also going to suffer from that. And it's important to get those stretched out, because if they stay tight, again, we can get some lower back pain due to it, okay? Because it is a very big muscle, a very powerful muscle. And if it is too tight, it can also cause decreased hip extension. So it's going to be harder to get your leg backwards. And so I'm going to show you how to stretch it here in a minute to where we can get full potential. And I'm going to explain what people are doing wrong. So I see a lot of people in the gym try to stretch their hip flexor, or at least they tell me they're stretching their hip flexor. And a lot of time, what they're doing is they're just stretching their quadricep. So there's one really big key when you're stretching and trying to stretch the hip flexor. And it's a pelvic tilt, okay? Basically, just like I showed you in that Visible Body app, we don't want too much arch in the back, because what that'll do is it will actually shorten the hip flexor. So we have to do what's called pelvic tilt before we go into our stretch. So I'm going to demonstrate here. So what you'll do, the problem is you'll see a lot of people, they'll get into this lunge position, leg will be out in front of the other, and what they'll do is they'll get a big giant forward lean here, like that. Problem is, again, they're just stretching their quadricep, because what they're doing is they're arching their lower back to get that distance. Again, we're not lengthening that muscle, we're actually shortening it by doing that. So, before we even go into our stretch, what you have to do, get my shirt a little higher here, is we actually want to tilt the pelvis, okay? So we want to, that's arching, we want to tilt it forward. After we tilt it forward, then we just lean forward. And you're not going to get super far, and that's okay. So big thing is keeping a neutral spine as we go forward, and you want to feel that actually up into the abdomen because of where we saw that hip flexor muscle. So if you see people stretching it wrong, go up to them and say, dude, you got to stretch it a different way. Let me show you. And then you look super cool. Everyone wants to give you a high five or a fist pump. All right, thanks for watching. Sunday, just like always, we will have an online supplement and food convo, so you can watch it from your own couch if you'd like. So again, send me a message if you want to. Otherwise, thanks for watching the tip of the day.